All goes well.
Hey man,
You
your
can go there for
internet is
next 10 years
freezing.
now.
Your screen is freezing quite a bit.
One day the world will find a cure for the coronavirus, but there won't be any cure for the poor internet quality in Goa.
Welcome to another episode of Heads Up with Goindian. Today we're going to have an episode with Neil Joshi, a man who went to BITS Pilani, FMS, got admission in Duke University, got a crazy job in Bain, but said, hey, leave all of this. I want to play poker for a living. Every mom's dream is basically to have a son like Neil Joshi. You're that kid in the neighborhood. You know, when they say Joshi, what do you say?
शर्मा जी के बेटे
शर्मा जी के बेटा
शर्मा जी का बेटा
Sharma ji ka ladka. When they say Sharma ji ka ladka, it's Joshi ji ka ladka. You're that guy, dude, in the neighborhood that achieved everything that their parents wanted, but you said no. मैं poker player बनूंगा. What's the story about this?
Well, like if you put it on paper, it sounds really well, but I had been playing off and on for about a year actually, and then I decided to take a stand and tell my parents that I want to take a year off for myself and just try my shot at poker. And if it doesn't work out, I always had that option to fall back on. But the more I started studying and getting into the game, the more I started liking it. This story is very close to that of Sahil Agarwal because I read in a blog where he also had asked for 1 year from his parents. And he was able to turn things around, and now he's like one of India's best.
Yeah, I think this 1 year story seems to be true because I'd asked for a year for my parents as well, and it worked out in my favor. So I think the cue is all of y'all just tell your parents, "Ek saal de do mujhe bas," and the rest might be history. You'll probably be like Neil Joshi or Sahil Agarwal. And worst comes to worst, like me. What was that one thing that triggered you to take up poker?
I was doing an internship. I was working in a chemical laboratory. I had like 2 hours of commute. I did not get along well with my supervisor. And at the same time, I was preparing for CAT, preparing for GRE. I barely had any time for myself. I found the solace in poker and I really, started to enjoy the game. In August, I won this tournament on PokerBaazi called the Freedom. I won it for like a cool 12 lakhs, which was revolutionary for me at the time. I think my bankroll went up by, 400% or something like that.
Let me tell everybody, but the 12 lakhs is only the starting point. A couple of weeks back, he came second in India's biggest tournament called NBoss for about 60 lakhs. And how old are you?
23.
Wow. So Neil, can we call upon your mum on this show? Just crazy
sure.
as to...
Sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Namaste. You look more like his sister than mum.
Thank you.
We have Neil's mum on the show. It's an epic moment. So India is full of mother-son relationships. I remember what I went through while telling my mother that I want to play poker for a living. I wanted to get an insight from you, Auntie, when Neil came and told you that he wants to play poker for a living. What were your first thoughts?
No.
Just look at that. Oh, that was a strong no, Neil.
Yeah, actually the thing is that when Neil passed from BITS Pilani, he had a very good job in Bain. Then he had a very coveted admission in FMS Delhi. He wanted to leave everything behind and play poker. So for us, it was quite a shock. We gave him like try 1 or 2 years and then we'll take the decision. That kind of.
ये वीडियो में अब आपको दिखाने वाला हूँ कि once their kids have actually got into Duke, BITS Pilani FMS tours, he meant Bain and Co. After all of that, he still got into poker. Like, I think it's a great move, both from your part and his part. I think more from your part because without you, he wouldn't have been here. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Auntie, so I remember that when I was starting out playing poker, my mom and I were very close, and she was always worried whenever I played cards and whenever I played like with money, she would be worried, and because I would be sleeping at odd times and waking up at odd times, and she was not sure कि मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ. She'd be like, "Beta, तुम कर क्या रहे हो?" And I'd be like, "Mom, मैं poker खेल रहा हूँ." And she'd be like, "ये होता क्या है?" Every time I told her I want to play poker for a living, she thought कि बच्चा बिगड़ गया है. So did you ever go through anything like this, Auntie?
Actually, yes. Once we had decided the time limit, I think we gave him the total freedom, but we got a lot of flack from the society.
What is it like from a parent's point of view? Because he spends about 12-13 hours a day playing.
Yes, I'm worried about the schedules, like whole ulta thing, sleeping all day and awake at night. That part I don't like.
Auntie, so you have to give one piece of advice to all the other parents whose kids are trying to take up poker for a living. What would that be?
I think first of all, keep all the communication lines open and just trust your child.
That's beautiful, Auntie.
So I would like to thank everybody because I see all the messages Neil's getting. It's a wonderful community you guys have. You support each other even when it's a very competitive field. That's really good. And I think my son is in good company.
Auntie, can I take this and put it on Shadi.com as well? Thank you so much for coming, Auntie. This is so sweet of you, and I really, really like talking to you. It reminded me of my mom. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
It was nice talking to
Thank
you.
you so much.
Bye.
What do you think is your biggest strength?
I guess just being rational in poker, because like being it decisions out of like not on the felts, you still have to be very rational. Understanding when you shouldn't, rebuy, understanding when you're going through a downswing and dropping stakes. Like I had no ego about any of these things. I was just fine giving up games. That is one of the things which worked out well for me. And being rational on the table as well.
Bro, एक बार अपना passport दिखा. I don't think you're 23. It's not possible.
I can actually show you because it is just in this room. You can see 1997.
1997. That's a fake Indian passport, Mr. Modi. Poker for you in one word.
Passion.
Vanessa Selbst or Maria Ho?
Maria Ho.
Liv Bory or Anne Duke?
Liv Bory.
One female poker player you would like to be stuck with on an island?
Kristen Bicknell, probably. She plays online, she plays at the highest stakes, and she's crushing left, right, and center amongst all these guys. And I have massive respect for her game.
Phil Galfond, Jason Kuhn, Ben CB.
Holy shit, man. All three are like the top three favorite people of mine.
Give it to me in order of preference.
Jason Kuhn, Galfond, Ben CB.
Okay, nice. Talking about Ben CB, Neil, I know you reached out to him for some hand history.
Oh yeah, so Ben CB, one hand, one spot, which I was unsure about. So I had messaged him on Instagram and he very happily engaged with me and I was super thrilled. And I've messaged a lot of people. Some of them have responded, some of them have not, but there is no shame in just asking. And whenever somebody from the Indian poker community approaches me with any strategy or in general anything, I always respond from my end.
If Ben Bhai, Jason Kuhn or Galfond Bhai doesn't reply, reach out to the Poker Bootcamp India on Instagram or Facebook. I will make sure we make you a better poker player. I also know that you love traveling. What's the one thing that attracts you to traveling so much?
One thing, it's hard to say, but for me, food is actually one of the biggest things. I love trying out different cuisines in all parts of the world.
I don't like food. I love it.
How was your Vegas experience?
Oh, Vegas was fantastic. Especially for somebody who likes food, Vegas is the place to be. I think it is the food capital of the world.
I thought you would say strip clubs. I thought it was the strip clubs.
No, it was definitely the food.
Man, my favorite topic is travel too. So I've traveled about 27, 28 countries. So how do you go about choosing which place you want to go travel to?
For example, right now I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Japan because I really like the food, and Mexico and Japan both have fantastic food. So of course I won't do this in the next 2 years or anything.
So JD Saz is in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I know. I spoke to JD actually.
So he's in Mexico. I'm sure he's killing it there, man. I speak to him every now and then. He's just having a great time. I've been to 5 out of the 7 continents. So I haven't been to South America. South America has been on my list for the last 7 years, but for some reason it just never happens. Every time I go to Vegas, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Mexico and then go to South America. But I just get caught up in the US because it's so big. You can go to so many places in the US.
Yeah.
Did you go to Colombia right after Narcos?
When I landed in Colombia was when I finished the 3rd season.
So you went to South America. What all did you do there?
So I did Machu Picchu in Peru. I did the Salar de Uyuni, which are like salt flats in Bolivia. I did the Galapagos Islands. Then in Ecuador, I did Quito, which is the capital. Me and Dad did couch surfing. So we stayed with someone from Quito itself and he showed us around the city. That was actually really nice.
I've had some bizarre stories on couch surfing. When I was trying to figure out where to stay, this one time in Nottingham, and this one dude asked me if I was actually fine with sharing a bed with him. That's when I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Because why would you ask me such a question? And then I found out that he was gay.
I've heard similar stories.
I'm good. I have zero issues with homosexuality, but this guy, he looked like he wanted to make a move. Tell us a little bit about the ayahuasca trip that you had.
Yeah, that was quite a fun story. I'd gone to the Amazon rainforest, like 2 hours into the forest. And then there was some local shaman. There was a guide who translated his dialect to Spanish and from Spanish to English for me. I actually did it with my dad. It's not something you can do anywhere in the world. Like if you do it incorrectly, there can be a lot of there are negative implications. So the guide who was with us, he told me that somebody had performed it incorrectly on him and he went blind for 5 days. So it's very, very important that you do it with a very reputable source. So the ceremony is actually very simple. They just give you something to drink which tastes like rotten fruit, and then they start singing and like waving and whistling and stuff like that, and then that's just supposed to induce a trip. From what people say, you unlock the door to reality and stuff like that. It was a fun experience.
So I also found out that you were a tuition teacher.
I ran sort of a tuition business thing when I was back in my second year. There was this website called check.com. If you are from a good university, they allow you to become a tutor and you can tutor other people for $20 per hour. I used to tutor any subject where they were paying enough money. It was a tedious process. So my studies were completely in the bin. But I started, making decent money off of it. So in my first month of slogging, I made like 1 lakh rupees or something. But then I realized I was in BITS Pilani, and that is a university where there are a lot of other people who are much more competent. So instead of me learning mechanical engineering, it's just better that I outsource it to somebody who is studying that. I can just keep some sort of commission for myself. So that is how it began. And because we were doing a really good job at it, the students started bringing in more students, and slowly and organically it began to grow. That was the money I used to deposit into the sites for first time and to play poker, and that was the money 5 of us who were involved in this, we went to Russia to travel. So it all began with this.
I love how you basically made money to invest in poker, because one of the classical mistakes is people borrow money to play poker, and then they get into a hole because they don't understand variance, and because they don't understand, and they start chasing those losses, and the rest is history. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this show as well. Neil, it's been great talking to you. I couldn't believe you're 23. You had to bring out your passport. Don't be amused when you get caught at immigration with that fake passport.
Thanks a lot for having me on, man. This was awesome.
That was Neil Joshi. He quit the obvious route to take up a very unconventional route, and he's succeeding on that path too. Watch out for him on the tables. His ID is Worm33. If you think poker's not gambling and you want to show people what the game is about, just like, share, and subscribe. Let's grow this game together. Poker's a beautiful game. Do it now. Please. One time. See you soon.